Okay, good evening, investor. Welcome to Smart Investing with Philippe. Let's go right into it. This is the market update after the market close, and we're gonna see that the QQQ, SPY, and the main indices like IWM, even the Max 7, they're actually keeping a sideways market move because they haven't moved really for the last 3 days. But let's get into the numbers and look at the chart. And I think this is quite a good news that despite all the noise about the tariffs and the trade war and everything that is happening, and it's so scary, and all the headlines are just trying to make you sell all you have and just run for the hills and everything. So I think at the end of the day, we are just at the same point like 3 or 4 days ago. I will show you in the chart. We haven't really moved on that much. So let me show you. QQQ, we are still about 14% done, almost close to 15% done. This is a meaningful pullback. You can see. Yeah, about 14% done. I mean, it's an extremely meaningful pullback, and we see that the RSI is still hovering around the 30 level, and nothing really has changed. Although that we can see that over the last 4 days, we have been exactly at the same level. You see 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, exactly at the same level, at the lowest level, but still we are just trading sideways. Despite all the headlines, all the fears, everything, the market cannot manage to go much lower than what it was 4 days ago, which is a good sign. So you have the impression is much lower than before, but actually is at the same level as before. So this is there is a difference between the reality and the feeling. So what also we can see is that the volume has been much lower. I mean, over the last 4 days, the first 2 days of the last 4 days, you have seen volume quite high, extremely high, but now the volume has come down quite dramatically, and that's also a good sign. Now let's look at the S&P 500. You can see that we are also the same level as about 3-4 days ago. I mean, we are slightly lower than what the QQ has been doing, but we are still now reaching the correction level. People were actually tiptoeing about whether it's a correction, not a correction, whether we should call it a correction or not, or just a pullback. Definitely now we are a bit more than minus 10% on the S&P 500, and this is definitely now officially a correction. Again, the RSI is hovering around the 30 level, and you can see that we haven't really moved dramatically down, and the volume is extremely low. I mean, whether you see on the profile here and on the profile there, the volume is slightly down than the last few days. So if you look now at the IWM, you can see that small cap more or less also trading sideways, slightly lower than the last 4 days by an inch, only by an inch, But also you can see that the RSI is still weakening and going much lower than the 30. So I would say the IWM is probably one of the good indices to try to top up at DCA, because don't think that this IWM will stay at that level for a long time. It's already depressed for over the last 4 years and 5 years, and it doesn't move at all. And now we are reaching valuation level not seen like over the last probably 10 years. So then I think it's one of the very great opportunities for the one who have the money or have the stomach to stomach the volatility that we've seen of the market. Actually, the more the market goes down, the less the risk. This is what people also don't understand. If you go down, the lower you go, then the less the risk you have, and the more the risk profile is in your favor. As opposed that when you buy at the top, your risk profile is actually not in your favor. The probability that it go much higher is actually much less than it goes a bit lower or much lower. So if you look at the Max 7, same story. Hasn't moved much from the last 4 days. You can see still holding the Fibonacci retracement level of 0.61, and you see 1, 2, 3, 4 days still the same level, hasn't moved. And again, the selling pressure today is much lower. You can see the volume from 4 days ago. Clearly you can see that this one is much higher, this one lower again, and this one lower, and the RSI is still hovering around the 30, hasn't really moved lower than the 30, and that's a good sign, because that means the selling pressure is there, but it's less strong, less convincing than it was probably 4 days ago. So it's a sign of bottoming, I think. Definitely, it's not much lower than it was the last few days. So we can see clearly we are still at the bottom of this pullback and this correction. So from a stock level, you can see that some of the stock are still very volatile. AMD still protecting actually dramatically this. I told you the Fibonacci retracement level of 0.78, and I don't think it will go much lower than that level. I told you since probably 1 week or more. You see, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, 7 days, 8 days, 9 days, 10, almost 2 weeks. I tell you that it's not going to go lower than this level. It's actually showing a process of bottoming. When you are actually almost 2 weeks protecting the level of Fibonacci of 0.78, that's mean the market participants are really defending that level. And if the AMD go much lower than that, then it's a full retracement back from the low of 2023. It doesn't make sense at all. I mean, fundamentals of AMD are much better today than it was back in 2023-22. I mean, this is clear to me that it won't go much lower than that. If you look at Palantir, then is again same level, doesn't move much from the last few days. SMCI the same. I mean, all the stocks, you've seen a rebound of yesterday and maybe the day before yesterday, but that rebound wasn't much. And actually it just retraced back that rebound, but nothing much and nothing really dramatic today. So what I would tell you that don't really panic. This is the process of bottoming. There will be probably a bit of time before the market recovers and maybe see clearly what is happening in the trade war and all these tariffs and all these headline, 200% tax for the EU, and then we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and tit for tat. I mean, this is all a political game, you know. This is not going to last long. So, I mean, just relax, chill out. And I'm going to do another video today about whether there will be a recession or not, whether the portfolio is recession proof or not, and why we think that maybe going into recession is not that dramatic and it actually is not a bad thing. So definitely have a good evening. Just relax, chill out. Don't sell all your portfolio. Anyway, if you have not done it so far, then it's too late. If you do it now, then you are the biggest loser. I mean, I don't want you to be a loser. Just chill out and relax. So if you like this video, it's a very short, quick update, but sometimes there's not much to say. It's better to keep it short and sweet. And just subscribe to the channel. Press the like button and leave a comment if you want to leave a comment. And please, let us build together this community where we can navigate through the market uncertainties and all the good time, the bad time together and make money together. Have a good evening. Thanks. Bye.